Well, I guess maybe that might put the rumors to bed about Tommy Green. Here he is going to the 7th inning. He's giving up 2 hits as Carlos Hernandez will come in 2 bats.
He's going to hit for Piazza, so with the Phillies blowing this one open.
Hernandez, Jorge Velandia, and Andy Ashby, the bottom third of the Padres order. Hernandez has hit very well in this role, hasn't played a lot.
John Ode at first base. And 2 away. Rondo, the Blue Jays beat up on him in an 11-0.
Óscar Azócar. Do you see his numbers at AAA? Was that he was taken to the hospital for x-rays of his left shoulder. And if we get word of that before the game ends, we will pass it along to you. He's got 2 clubs worrying about him.
And now Óscar Azócar will stay in the game in place of...
Have had back-to-back home runs. Devereaux and Polonia driving Gunderson out of there. And Rich Garces comes on as the 3rd Red Sox pitcher.
Rivera's thrown a lot of pitches, flirting with some trouble in the last couple of innings, and he seems to be hanging in there.
The Pittsburgh Pirates, second baseman Carlos Garcia.
Won 3 in a row prior to last evening. They swept the Orioles. Sox had to wonder when he was going to get touched up a little bit, but we'll just see how he reacts to it. Hey, he was down 4-0 in the first inning of his
one, and the Indians lead it 8-0. Then the top.
In the top of the 4th, Kevin McReynolds. 4 in the top of the 4th, Miller.
You're looking at him.
Top of the 4th, Kevin McReynolds with his.
We were telling you a little bit earlier about his season last.
Cañate leading off against Hipólito Pichardo. Pichardo's second pitch, gone. Cañate's first major league home run wins the game for Toronto. He came into the game, Cañate.
AAL. He's just turned 21 years of age. There you see his Albuquerque numbers. He's 6'3", 160-pounder from Venezuela. And this will be his major league debut. Ball's jumping to left today. Two balls and 2 strikes to Castellano.
In the quarter, Rick Wilkins. He's going to have to make some adjustments, Tommy, and right now he's got 2 spots where they get him consistently. He's swinging at pitches up.
Can join Cub manager Tom Trebelhorn, Tuffy Road, Steve Traxel, a host of Cub players and coaches.
So now Fordyce, the catcher.
Gonzalez, Roberto Petagine is in the ball game and left.
And that's just to see the fastball, elevate the eyes.
Back home watching. They win their 4th in a row, 7-4.
That strikes him. Coach Nardi Contreras from the Yankee dugout.
His last 9 starts, anxious to see him work.
Yeah, talk about the Rams coming to St. Louis. This may be the last year, the last 2 years the Rams will be in Anaheim. And how many times do you come into this great baseball?
So not such a good start for Pete Smith in his first outing of the year for the Reds, but Malicki getting his first start.
The New York Mets, Edgardo Alfonso.
And now we're in the 11th, still tied at 5, and most of the sellout crowd still here. Few empty seats, but most of the folks hanging in for what has been a good and interesting ball game. Felipe Lira comes on now.
It has the matchup he wants to work out of trouble. The bases loaded down, 2 men out, and the Rule 5 draft pickup, Tomas, trying to get into postseason for the first time, and Tomas Perez at the plate, just 21 years old.
Montreal Expos pitcher Ugueth Urbina.
The Venezuelan, who is the Expos representative, he's 4-2. Look at that ERA. Plus 20 saves, and save opportunities aren't that plentiful when you pitch for the Expos.
You're right. He's done a great job so far. Maybe this is a year for Gonzalez. Seems like every time.
Pitcher Ugueth Urbina.
And an occasional forkball. I was talking with Jay Buhner before the ball game, and he really likes this kid. He gets the start, his first major league start, as Ron mentioned, because Woody Williams is on the DL, and the Blue Jays have had their problems.
Who is listed at 21 years of age, is out of Venezuela. He's in there at second base tonight. Gagne.
He demands that of his players. These guys will continue to come to the
row, uncharacteristically for Rick Reed anyway, out of the strike zone to start the 7th inning. That hit we just told you.
In San Diego and Houston and in Chicago or the Mets or some, teams that might face him in the postseason might be taking heart, but well, look at this, he'll be all right. JT Snow, after he struck out a couple of times.
Forward to getting to. Paul O'Neill has been there with those 1990 world champion Reds. Giovanni Carrara, Italian Venezuelan. Wow. Comes on. See his numbers taking over the.
Tomás Pérez.
Outside from Justin Thompson. Tap back to 2 men in the batting order.
Salvage a split of the 4-game series. Alex Delgado remains in the ballgame for the Red Sox at third base.
There is Alex Delgado staying in to play left field for the Red Sox.
214, a homer. He's knocked in 6.
Well, didn't we turn 4 double plays in 5 innings on Sunday? That second.
Yeah.
When you don't hit and you don't get much pitching, you look real bad, and that's pretty much sums up. And Josh Fogg in game 2, which will follow about a half hour at the end of this.
Has had 3 straight hits. Let's take a look just quickly at that, Nathan. Pedro swung and missed. Throw down to second does not get Chavez. A strikeout of Pedro for out number 1, and Chavez steals the base. Well, Gary, your comments on the catcher stealing the base.
I love it. Darren Fletcher picked up his first stolen base this year, and there was a lot of talk about that, but Chavez dives in head first. It didn't take him quite as long as it took Darren Fletcher to steal his base, but Chavez.
So the Astros get 5 innings out of their starter, Bob Abreu, a good-looking young hitter out of the Houston system.
Swinging. Eddy Díaz. Bottom of the 5th. Nobody out. Nobody on. The Phillies. Bottom of the 1st. But he gets bottom of the 5th. Nobody out. Nobody on.
Geremi González goes to the mound. He's 1-0 lifetime against Philadelphia. 5.14 ERA. There are the numbers this year. Looking for his 12th win. That would be tops among National League rookies. And he's got the wind blowing pretty much straight in today. You can get away with some mistakes.
There's Jorge Velandia. Velandia getting more of the Plumson, giving up the home run in the 1st inning. As Billy said, we'll see if he can set.
The Blue Jays have brought on their new stopper, their new closer, Kelvim Escobar.
See his numbers, 12 games. This guy's just 21 years old. 2-0, 8 saves, 1.04. You see him throwing that last pitch with that split finger grip. 9 hits allowed in 17 1/3. He's had a little bit of a control problem, 11 walks. To go with 17 strikeouts. So Escobar
As well, all coming up next on SportsCenter. Here's Henry Blanco.